Okay guys, so today I'm going to be making these raspberry cheesecake cups. I hope you guys like them. They are actually really good. I've made them quite a few times in a few different ways. So we're going to go through this. Okay, as you saw, I'm making these keto cheesecake cupcakes. I'm going to start with 3 tablespoons of butter that I'm going to melt, and I'm going to mix with 3/4 of a cup of almond flour, and I'm going to put it in the bottom of the crust and bake at 350 for about 8 minutes. I added 2 teaspoons of the pure sweetener, and then I added about a teaspoon of the nutmeg. Mixed it all up with the butter and the 3 tablespoons of butter and the 3/4 cup of almond flour. And now I roughly evenly split it into these 12 cupcakes, and I'm going to press it down. And once I'm done pressing it down, I'm going to put it in the oven at 350 for about 8 minutes, just so it crisps up and becomes the little bottom part of my cheesecake. Now, while that is doing its thing in the oven, I am going to soften, kind of almost melt to be honest, 12 ounces of cream cheese, and then you'll see the ingredients that we're adding to that. Alright, now for the cheesecake part, I have 12 ounces of cream cheese. I've microwaved it, I'm going to be honest, for about 1.5 minutes because I wanted it to be really soft. I'm going to add 1 egg to it, a 1/4 cup of pure sweetener. I stuck it in the NutriBullet so that it be like pure powder. Then I'm going to add a teaspoon of vanilla extract and a tablespoon of lemon juice, and just a pinch of salt, like roughly a 1/4 teaspoon. So here's your teaspoon of vanilla. And then, since I cannot find my actual tablespoon thing, I'm gonna use the teaspoon. 3 teaspoons make a tablespoon of lemon juice. And then I'm gonna put salt, just sprinkle a little salt on top, and I'm gonna blend this in my mixer, and then we are going to scoop it out and pour it into the cupcakes. By now your crusts, your cupcakes have come out of the oven and they are just sitting and waiting, cooling off just a little bit. Your oven is still at 350. And you'll see just a second how we scoop these in. Okay guys, now that you've mixed everything up, the reason that I warm up the cream cheese a little bit instead of just room temperature is because I want it to be this consistency for when I add the raspberry cream. So I'm just going to take one of these and just scoop some into my crusts here. Now that you've got them all set in, and this recipe makes exactly 12, that's why you can see this is pretty much cleaned out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add a 1/4 teaspoon of some sugar-free raspberry jam, or raspberry preserves. I'm using this here. You can choose any flavor or any, you know, fruit preserve. You can put sliced strawberries in these suckers, and it's really good. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little scoop in each one. This is why I always like wearing gloves, because this is such a hot mess. And then I'm going to swirl it with a toothpick. That's why I needed it to be soft, because if it's a little too room temperature or too stiff, well, even if it's room temperature, when you start adding the cold eggs and all these, you know, other things, it's not going to be really as soft or warm anymore because it's going to be more firm. See, I'm putting a little glob in each of them. I've made these before like this and they were so good that I have to do it. I had to do it again. This time I thought I'd share it with you guys. So now what I'm going to do is slowly start swirling it with a toothpick. So as you can see, it's like mixed in there a little bit. And just kind of do it with all of them. And then I'm going to put these in the oven. And I'm going to bake them at 350. And when I pull them out, they are going to be delicious. And once again, the nutritional info and the instructions will be in the description. So just remember, you want to bake these in 350 for 20 minutes. And you're going to have some little raspberry cheesecake muffins, cupcakes, whatever you want to call them. But I've tried this before with the room temperature cream cheese, and it did not swirl very well, or however you want to say that. And it was not good. It did not come out to the way I wanted it to. Because with this swirl, you're still going to have pieces of the preserves in there. So I'm going to finish this up, pop this in the oven, and then you'll see the end results. Or if you watch this from the beginning, you'll already have seen. Okay guys, so I have let them cool off a little bit. This is your end result. They're still a little warm. So, and it fell over. I just wanted to show you guys. Ignore the fact that it just got a wrinkle in it because it fell, but you just kind of... what you're looking at. They are so good. I'm gonna let you guys go. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to leave me feedback, and definitely make these. They are, oh man, so good. Now I have to hide the rest from myself so I don't eat them all.